I have some things to say about the subject about Caitlin Clark. She made a statement where she basically bowed to the woke agenda, almost apologizing for her white privilege. She's a 22-year-old kid, just got out of college. Just got out of college. She'll learn as she grows. She's just trying to get along. Nope. She practiced dribbling between her legs and behind her motherfucking back and shooting deep fucking threes. That's what she practiced. Not presenting herself. Vinny is very passionate, and that's okay. Yeah. You can handle Vinny. But Adam, you're only as good as your weakest link. He's the weak link. This is the dumbest thing he says. Nobody's for women playing against men, you dumb fuck. And because she can't play in the NBA, she's not worthy of praise? Come on, man. That makes no sense. We don't do that. I could be enticed to fly to Florida. Fill in if you want to. The privilege thing is more on economic status than it is race. You cannot create equality of a starting point. Dude, you can't do it. And to try to make equality of outcomes to make up for that is not how it works. Yeah. And your race doesn't matter, okay? There's always going to be racist, and there's always going to be somebody who has more money than you. But if you want to compete, if you want it bad enough, there is the opportunity for you to do it. I'm for everybody doing better. Give two fucks about what your color of your skin is. This doesn't end well unless it ends. Can't just report the fucking obvious.
I don't care what a critic got to say, I got them picking up the pieces. That me, you really playing with your life, I'm about to come and
just a motherfucking jump. Just go. Let's fucking go. This is the Outlaw Apostle Podcast. I'm your host, Troy Neff. I'm the fucking guy. And the other fucking guy is here too.
Hello, man.
Because I am so glad I have you to do this shit, man. Somebody actually messaged me and said, hey, I want to do a podcast, could you have any tips? Yeah, I got some for you. Like, how serious are you?
Yeah.
And then I saw his Facebook. He was talking about it. He just wants to kind of shoot the shit with friends and record it once or twice a month.
Once a month?
Send
me the contact information. I can do it once a month. That's easy.
Can you do that? All right.
Oh, that's easy.
But, we have... Look around, dude.
It's looking more and more like a professional studio every single day.
We have an investment here.
Oh, easy. Oh, man. Yes. Yes, you do.
The cameras, the mics. I mean,
I'm excited for the future. I really am. Like the more.
Are you trying to say the future is bright?
Oh, you already know the future is bright.
That's the tagline for PBD.
Well,
Patrick Bet
I remember
David.
the one of the
they sell a lot of merch that has the future is bright on it.
I mean, I like that. Yeah, I do say that funny enough, by myself. So that's hilarious. Because I remember the other episode I said it, and you're like, you've been watching a little PBD. And I didn't realize I was the actual catchphrase.
You pick it up.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
You just pick it up, and and we're gonna go there. That's what we're gonna start with.
Okay.
Today.
A little bit of Patrick Bet David.
A little Patrick Bet David.
Okay.
So, Caitlin Clark was named Athlete of the Year for Time Magazine.
Okay.
Yeah. Time Magazine, do we have something on that?
Forgot to record the screen 1 sec. There we go.
Okay. Yeah, everybody's going to she's going to get hammered, and I feel for it. Hey, one thing we have to remember about Caitlin Clark?
What's up?
She's a 22-year-old fucking kid, dude.
She's 22? It's so weird.
But you got to understand. So she just graduated from college last year, and when women get their basketball season done, there's a draft, and then the NBA season starts. So she went from there's not a big gap.
Yeah.
So she went right from playing in the playoff, in the tournament for women, the NCAA tournament for women, to being drafted, to then starting on a WNBA team.
Back to back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she didn't even get too much time to relax a little bit.
And the women, they actually get NIL deals too. And most of she made more her senior year for Iowa than she gets paid for her WNBA contract.
How does that even work?
Well, it works because nobody was paying attention much to the WNBA, remember?
Gotcha. I do remember that.
She's the one that has brought attention to the WNBA.
Yeah.
You know, nobody's saying there weren't good players before, or players that didn't have some game.
People just didn't care to watch.
Not that much.
Yeah.
And people, you can say whatever you want about it. It's just, those are just pure facts that the WNBA was subsidized by the NBA every year. They've never been profitable as a league. Never. Now, they lost less money this year, and you'll hear them talk about this. But so PBD does a live broadcast besides interviewing people.
Yeah.
And he has several other people on there. And one of the guys he has on there is Adam. And I've gotten to the point where I can barely stand Adam now. And that's Adam. I can barely stand listening to him sometimes. And the thing, I mean, I'm not going to tell somebody as successful as PBD what to do. I mean, look at I got nothing to tell this guy, you know. We're just happy we increased by 40 or 50 subscribers and we're happy, you know. But I listened to that podcast and that broadcast to listen to him.
PBD.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, Tom on there, the older dude, he's good too. He's good at providing, like, when PBD wants information, he's going to him. He's giving him some facts that he's pulled up, and he's really good.
Gotcha.
You know, Vinny is very passionate, and that's okay.
Yeah.
You can handle Vinny, but Adam, like, just
very opinionated.
I don't know what it is.
Is it just his voice?
I don't like him.
No, that's fair. I mean, sometimes
I'm just being honest.
Yeah,
I don't like him, and I think that when you do a broadcast like that.
Okay, like a live broadcast.
Well, with that many people.
Gotcha.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So PBD is the main focus, but when he's deferring to them, the amount of time he does sometimes, like, dude, it is a little too much, dude. I don't give two fucks about
what Adam has to say.
I don't. I care what PBD has to say.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
That's why I'm listening.
No, that's fair.
He's the successful one that hired you, dude. He's the successful one.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know. Like, and you're only as good. This is the point I wanted to make. You're only in that type of situation. You're only as good as your weakest link.
Oh yeah.
He's the weak link. True. You gotta you need to make your weak link better, man. Yeah.
You give him some educational classes or something.
You know, I could be enticed to fly to Florida and fill in if you want to check it out.
I would love to see you next to PBD. That would be something crazy.
Dude, who knows what's going to happen over the next few years, man. I just want to dream big and just go.
Hell yeah, man.
I really do. But so we're going to do a breakdown. This is at the end of the live broadcast today.
Okay.
And today is Thursday that we're recording this. The 12th, right? Today's the 12th?
12.
Today's the 12th that we're recording this. So y'all are seeing this on Tuesday, all right? But after the weekend. But this is when this was on. So if you want to go back and see any of this or this particular podcast, then, you know, great. But we're just going to play the end. And I have some things to say about the subject about Caitlin Clark.
So can you give me a quick summary, just so I have a somewhat of an understanding what exactly
we're the reason this is an issue is because race was made a part of
her getting the.
I don't want to say race was just made a part of her whole entry into the WNBA.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
But remember, we had a conversation about that. You know, it's not that people, they have a white chick to root for. It's also, nobody wanted to talk about it, that they have a straight white chick to talk about that's really badass and really, really good. You know?
Yeah.
And she's really, really good. But she was Times Athlete of the Year, and she made a statement where she basically bowed to the woke agenda.
Clark did.
Yeah. And almost apologizing for her white privilege. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And look, it's all right to thank other people in the league that came before you and that kind of stuff. You have nothing to apologize for.
There's that quote there. I know.
Yeah. Yep. Go ahead.
I know what the league was about. And like I said, it's only been around 25 plus years. So I know that there's been so many amazing black women that have been in this league, and continue to uplift them is very important. That's something I'm very aware of. It says, I think I'm very comfortable in my own skin, and that's kind of been how it is in my entire life. Like, so just because she's like,
but then she makes a
popular-
statement about privilege too. I don't know if that was on there on what you.
Trying to be real and authentic, and that the only opinion she cares about is the one from people that I love.
But yeah, she does say that, and that'll be in the video, I think, too.
Okay, so they bring it up in the video.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. She just doesn't need to apologize, dude. Look, accept your award. Thank the people that paved the way. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
But here's the other thing. Like the criticism from the conservative side, come the fuck on. Like she's a 22-year-old kid who just got out of college. Just got out of college. If you have an issue with it, then you probably have an issue with how they're indoctrinating kids in college.
Gotcha. Yeah.
That's the issue.
Yeah.
That she'll learn as she grows. She's just trying to get along. So I think the criticism of her from conservatives is just over the top.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
It really is stupid.
And then Adam tears into the WNBA and her and here's the thing, dude. I don't believe this motherfucker's ever seen a game. So you're gonna run your mouth about shit you've never done or ever seen, because I can tell you. Guess why I can tell you? I've been there.
Been to a few games.
I've been there, and my whole thing was when people were yapping about her. And Caitlin Clark this and Caitlin Clark that. I only went to a WNBA game because of Caitlin Clark.
Yep.
But I did say this. How about the rest of you? This was the Phoenix Mercury. They were playing.
Yep.
And I went to the Phoenix Mercury, Footprint Center. How about you ball? Ball out. Show me what you got. So that when Caitlin Clark gets on that jet, charter jet that you all now get, okay, when you get on that jet, that I still want to come back and see you play when she's not in town.
Yeah.
And they did. We had a great experience there.
I remember that episode.
Yep, we had a great experience there. We went back. Now I went to another interesting game, that next one.
Yeah.
And that's when the rival, and you need rivals to promote the league.
Yes.
And these two were rivals in college their last 2 years.
Yeah.
And that's Angel Reese.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And she played for Chicago.
Yeah.
And Chicago came to town. We went to see a game.
Yeah.
Guess what? Tickets were not as expensive for Reese against the Mercury as they were against Clark versus Mercury. And it wasn't a total sellout, but it was a great crowd. It was solid. It was solid. And then I think we saw New York come to town, who was the best team maybe at the time in the league. And then when we went to Indianapolis, we got to see the Indiana Fever play in that game against another top team. I don't remember which one, but another top team. And they didn't win that game.
No, I remember.
Right?
I remember you saying that they didn't win.
Yeah, but I was surprised. Middle of the fucking day on a Friday, people are walking around Indianapolis with Caitlin Clark jerseys on. I'm like,
that was pretty close to her. Like when
it was crazy.
It first came up that she was going to break the record for assists or something like that.
Yeah,
I think around the same time.
It was and it was phenomenal. And yeah, so let's play this.
Okay.
And because I got something to say, because I know I'm a sports fan.
Uh-huh.
I'm a sports fan, and they have attracted me. And I can tell you that I will go to other WNBA games when the league starts,
Up again.
next late spring or early summer or whenever the fuck
it
it
starts
is.
up, yeah.
Yeah, we'll go to some games. We had a good time. We had a
From
good
what
time.
from what I remember you telling on the episodes and stuff like that, I do remember you being like super excited to like go again and like get to
Yeah,
watch
it was
another game
neat.
and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was good. But but I gave it a chance because of Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
Now, if other people want to be mad about that or think I'm biased because it took a white chick to get me to do it, like, do you think Caitlin Clark was the first good white chick to ever play in the WNBA? That's an insult to other great white chicks that played in the WNBA the last 25 years. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Let's not insult anybody. We don't have to. We don't have to.
Yeah.
But and the other thing is, when you get past football's number one. I don't care what anybody says.
In America.
Football's number one. It's ahead of baseball. It's ahead of basketball. Football's number one. And that's NFL and college. And however you feel about it, and you like one over the other, whatever. Don't give a shit.
We're just generalizing.
It doesn't
football.
matter. It's football. And then it's baseball. And then maybe still basketball. I don't know.
I was about to say that's I think you can intertwine basketball and baseball for sure.
And maybe I'm thinking that basketball has lost some
over the past few years for sure. It's definitely dipped.
And maybe it's closer to hockey now to being the equivalent of that, but hockey's improved. It just depends.
Over the years, yeah. I've seen there being a lot more of like attention being put onto like the NHL, right? National Hockey League.
Yeah. But after that, and you have NASCAR.
I don't understand. I get it, but I don't understand why it's so popular.
But it is popular.
It is super
Rednecks
popular.
love to watch cars go in circles, dude. I don't know what to tell you. And I've done it myself.
No, I've done it too, but I really don't get it. But anyways, go ahead.
Yeah. But after that, golf?
I would say golf.
But there's a lot of things. And now soccer keeps slowly moving up.
In the US, yes.
In the
sure.
US.
Yes,
we know it's big everywhere else.
Yeah.
But in the US, it's slowly moving
after
up.
the past years of like the American women winning it and then the US men kind of like
But you
really
know
far.
what? But the women's pros never did shit. Nobody cares about
other
women's
than complain.
The men's pros here,
Yeah.
and that we've had, players at the end of their career come and play here, like Beckham and Messi and things like that.
That's like one of the best benefits of the MLS, is my opinion, because you get all these like classic like.
But it's been slow, but it has been increasing in popularity.
Oh, easily.
Yeah. But let's just say there's a shit ton, and then a lot of people have kids in sports.
Yes.
Okay. And there's just so much going on with our lives. There's a lot of competition for your time.
Yeah.
What are we doing? We're competing for your time. I'm just hoping that you listen to 10 fucking minutes when you're on the treadmill.
Hell yeah.
Okay. I'm not expecting you to sit down on your couch and be like, oh, Troy Neff is on again. Fuck that. Fuck that, dude. That's not a thing. No, I know it's not.
That's hilarious the way you put that.
People do not realize until they actually watch the show. I've been getting messages. Man, you're kind of funny. No shit, dude. But because I know the secret of what's funny.
The truth.
Little bit of truth.
Oh, yeah.
Got to have some truth in there. And nobody can pick on me better than me. So
very true.
You can't troll me. You can't, because I can troll me better than you can. I've had people that were so bad at trolling me where I've given them ideas. I will start posting ideas and say, look, if you really want to attack me, this is where you should do it. Because the things you're saying about me aren't true, and it's just not funny.
Yeah.
So nobody cares. But this would be funny if you do, because it's actually true.
Yeah.
Okay. So I try to help
That's
them out.
hilarious.
And that just makes them madder.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I gotta love that. I gotta love that. Let's really back into the
Yes.
Caitlin Clark.
So, yeah. So Caitlin Clark
Yeah.
race has been a part of this. And she has brought so much attention to the WNBA. And everybody's going to make more money because of this. And again, it's not just Caitlin Clark. Another factor that has people interested is the fact that there's this little bit of rivalry between her and Angel Reese.
Yeah.
That's a cool thing.
Yeah, I remember having
it's no different than it's no different than Magic and Bird.
Yeah.
What they did for the league, people like that little bit of rivalry.
You rile
there.
up behind it, like one you get to choose one or the
you
other.
picked a team.
Exactly.
You picked a team.
Exactly.
And even if you were a fan of another team, when those two people played each other,
you have someone
you still watch because you're watching two of the best players in the NBA, and you're rooting for one because you like him more than the other.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, it's no different than whoever you have your favorite team. It's the Cowboys, and then you rooted for whoever played against Tom Brady because you're a Tom Brady hater or whatever.
Yeah, no, I get you. I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah, like that. So let's go to the PBD podcast that was today.
Hitler. Sexist, racist, Hitler. Basically, identify why the other side won and your side lost, and you'll find the answer.
Well, let me read this next story here to you. Caitlin Clark is named Time Athlete of the Year. 22 years old. She had a record-breaking season with the Indiana Fever in the WNBA. She shattered 6 rookie records for points and assists, 4 franchise records, and multiple all-time NBA records, including the most assists in a single game, 19. Reflecting on her impact, she stated, "I've been able to captivate so many people that have never watched women's sports and then turn them into fans." Before joining the WNBA, Clark became the highest scorer in college basketball history at Iowa, drawing a staggering 18.9 million viewers for March Madness finale.
We pretty much take it all. Fridges, and dishwashers, and restaurants.
Do you need my password or something? Because on mine.
Yeah, I would have to log into because I'm on.
Yeah, we'll do that next time. I'll give that to you.
Gotcha. Cool.
Against South Carolina, second most watched women's sporting event in U.S. history.
I don't watch
Times
commercials.
Sean Gregory wrote, "Good luck naming another player who altered the trajectory of the entire sports team within 5 months on the job." And Caitlin Clark responds with the following. Adam, I'm going to come to you first.
Believe me.
She says, acknowledged her privilege as a white person in a league built on the contributions of black players. In her Time interview, she stated, "I want to say I've earned every single thing, but as a white person, there is privilege. The more we can elevate black women, that's going to be a beautiful thing." She also credited black basketball icons like Lisa Leslie, Maya Moore for paving the way for her success during an appearance on SNL. Despite her unprecedented accomplishments, including all the records that she had, so rookie season, criticism arose over her popularity. Golden State North Carolina suggested that her stardom reflects the Great White Hope Syndrome. Okay, it's what they called her.
Good Lord.
And while the 3-time MVP, Aja Wilson, claimed Clark's race was a huge contributor to her popularity, it doesn't matter what we all do as black women. We're still going to be swept underneath the rug. Adam, I'm going to come to you first.
Look, we had this conversation, I don't know, 3 months ago, 6 months ago, during the WNBA season, and I was like, yeah, I don't give a shit. She's being catapulted to this amazing star. By the way, you know how many championships she won in college? 0. She's 0 for 2. She didn't win. Is she a good player? Sure. The WNBA
Can you believe
is a zombie company.
This dude downplaying, she went to 2 finals, but didn't win. So, she's not that good. She's not really that good.
Because the game is an individual sport.
Dude, you know how lame that is? Like, what in the world are you hating for? You cannot like what she said.
Yeah.
Okay, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
But to attack the person who she was the best college women's basketball player, the best. She won the award for best college, whatever that award. I don't even know what the award's name is, but she
Whatever
was the best
like MVP
college.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She won. The equivalent of whatever it is for basketball, like the Heisman.
Yeah.
She's the best. I mean, and we watched it 2 years, and we saw it happen when she was a junior. This rivalry that I was talking about with Reese.
With Reese, yeah.
That we caught a couple games at the end of, in the
regular season.
no, the playoffs.
The playoffs, I guess.
The tournament. They call it tournament.
Yeah.
In the women's tournament, NCAA tournament, we called a couple. We all sports fan dudes. We called a couple games and like, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And so we even maybe some dudes like me, sports dudes.
Yeah.
Then we did tune in her senior season and saw that there was a game on TV, and I ain't got nothing else to do. Yeah,
Throw it on.
I might as well watch this. And it was a good choice because she's very, very good. So we watched some regular season games that we had never watched before.
Yeah.
Not just of her, of any.
And
we
the
just
NBA.
generally didn't watch women's college basketball.
Yeah.
Unless it was Connecticut versus whoever, or South Carolina. No, these are the women's dynasties in college basketball
Gotcha.
that I'm naming.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah,
That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, it makes
I'm
more
like
sense.
Tennis,
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't
I'm
care
giving
anything
you
about
names.
Tennessee.
Like, I actually know, I don't know a lot about women's college basketball, but I know enough to
Enough
be
to talk about
dangerous.
it. I like that.
And more than this motherfucker knows. He's like,
I will have to say, I do not like his voice.
But it's just
His
why
demeanor
are you,
and like his like attacking.
What did she win? What the fuck did you win, dude?
That's what I was.
You
gonna
know
ask. Like,
what?
who is this person?
That motherfucker didn't get into a game. You know what I mean? He was a bench rider. He was in the band.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, band people. Your people just attack you because you're in the band. That wasn't nice of me. But all right, let's go on with it.
That loses money year in and year out. Actually, I have good news.
What?
They were projected to lose $50 million this year. But because of Caitlin Clark and all her great success, they only lost $40 million this year.
Hey.
Amazing.
there
Great
you
job,
go.
Caitlin. Thank you. So there it is. They lost $40
What a
million.
condescending
Name me a
prick.
company
Honestly though,
that
like,
continue.
it's like, okay, so like let's get this right. Like the NBA WNBA was meant to lose 50 million. It was just projected to them, and then they lose less, and it's still an issue that you have. Like she helped.
Well, you
in a
have to
way.
understand too. You have to understand this too, and he should be smart enough to know this. That some of these TV deals were already in place.
Before the
So this is just a little bit more in ticket sales. Okay.
Gotcha.
And remember when we talked last, we're talking about Juan Soto last.
Yes.
Ticket sales is not the number one way that teams make money.
Yeah.
It's TV rights. It's TV rights.
Yeah.
That's number one. TV rights are number one. But now, because more people are, her games, like I think almost every game was almost, I know their attendance was this year was the number one attendance for Indiana Fever.
Correct.
That
I do remember.
That in their franchise's history, more people went to watch them this year than any other year. And maybe the most in the WNBA ever of any. Like they were all sold out or close to being sold out every game, every home game. And if they came to play in your place, you had a chance of selling out. And a number of times, you know what else they did?
What's up?
They moved the venue to a bigger place
Because
to
they had-
accommodate the number of people that wanted to see the game.
Well,
So instead of it being a 9,000 to 12,000 seat place,
You
it
got
was a
double that.
15 to 17.
Yeah.
15 to 17.
Okay, so just a little bit more. But
Yeah.
even the numbers themselves, like this is just viewership across the board. 328%, 170%, 305%. You're getting over 100% on each one of these. Other than the countdown, which I'm not quite sure what is, but those are crazy numbers. Those are big jumps. It's not just like
Big
a
jumps.
slight jump.
Big
like
jumps.
Like a,
So now what can they do now since there's more of a demand for the product?
they can
what
ask
can
for
they-
more money in the TV.
They
rights.
can get whenever that TV deal is up, they'll be able to get more money and maybe they eliminate the losses altogether. I don't know.
I mean, they might benefit so
But
much.
if you really want to talk about this shit,
Yeah.
act like you know how to fucking talk about it in an intelligent motherfucking way. Really,
Well, I
because
mean-
this ain't it.
I mean, like
This
if you're,
isn't it.
If you're on a podcast this big,
Yeah, this big.
this
big. It's
like it's
huge.
Yeah, exactly.
It's huge.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
Side note, I love that it's in a vault. I know you said that earlier in the year, but the fact that they record inside of a vault is hilarious.
He loses money. Let's give her a trophy because we only lost $10 million less than we expected. It's an absolute joke. It's absolutely absurd. Will she be a great WNBA player? Sure. I don't give a shit. If I actually want to see her actually warrant her merit, put her in the NBA.
This is
Have
the
her play
dumbest
against
thing
Steph
he
Curry.
says.
Have her play.
Nobody's for women playing against men, you dumb fuck.
I don't know if you've realized, but that's like one of the biggest like talking points these past few years. Like it's like I don't know. If you,
I mean,
we don't want
this
men
is
in
just-
women's sports. Why are we gonna want women in men's sports? Like
What? Not
I mean,
like
like-
this. Everybody knows that's not a possibility.
not,
It's,
no.
it's just not. You know, the body that a woman would have
to compete,
to you know,
like strength wise.
she'd have to be minimum no less than 6'5", 6'6", probably 230 or more.
Yeah, really over 230.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Probably.
I was gonna say close like 200,
230,
230,
240. 200 would be too
That's
thin.
too little.
She'd get crushed, dude. If you're a dude, you're probably gonna get crushed at 6'5",
No, that's fair. That's fair.
200.
What
You're a
position is she
skinny
playing? She's a
She's
point.
a guard,
She's a guard, right? Yeah, okay.
and she's a shooting guard. And like, I mean, can she shoot the three from the men's arc?
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, now if for shits and giggles, you want to see her compete with Steph Curry for shooting
Like to see
threes,
who's
that'd
shooting
be
threes.
fun.
Yeah.
You know,
But
but
not
it'd
in
be
the actual
fun.
NBA game
Dude, it's
where she's
just-
getting dunked
And
over.
because she can't play in the NBA, she's not worthy
Worthy.
of praise.
Yeah, no, I get you. That makes no
Come
sense.
on,
yeah,
man.
That makes no sense.
We don't do that. Like, what is this? This dude, you know what? This dude needs to get fucking laid.
Probably. Yeah,
This dude
some
is not
like
getting laid.
Some WNBA.
He's
some
not getting
basketball
laid.
girl in his
And I
past.
tell you, I don't know what their female viewership is, but I'm telling
it
you,
declined right
yeah,
there.
yeah, there is any woman that sees that is not buying this dude's bullshit.
That comment alone is not going to do you very well.
No. All right, go ahead.
LeBron, have her play against Kevin Durant, have her play against the greatest players in the world, then show me what she does. The WNBA
Shut
is
the fuck up.
a zombie company that is subsidized by who?
Lesbians.
The NBA. Yes, it is, I think, 70% lesbian league.
Your thoughts?
But that's all
What
good.
is LeBron?
But by the way, let me just address the racist thing right now, because that's part of it.
I just have
Okay, the whole notion that she's just been given white privilege, really? Okay, tell that to the greatest black female athletes of all time. Tell that to Serena Williams, the greatest female tennis player of all time. Tell that to FloJo or Jackie Joyner-Kersee, the greatest track and field athletes of all time. Tell that to Lisa Leslie or Diana Taurasi, the WNBA greatest players of all time. Tell it to the greatest gymnast of all time, Simone Biles. It's absolute ridiculous, and she fell for it. She fell for the DEI, LGBT.
She's a
thing.
kid. She's a kid,
Yeah,
dude.
honestly, like
She's a 22-year-old kid
And
with
not-
all her success.
and not only
She
is she
still is
22,
a kid. And she
exactly.
may be mature, but no
I don't
offense,
think
you're
so.
still a kid,
Yeah,
man.
no.
I know we all think we know shit when
Yep.
we're young,
Yep.
but we don't know that we didn't know shit when we're young until we're older and be like, yeah, I
And-
was wrong.
And then especially because she's in the spotlight at a young age, like she doesn't get the ability to actually like make mistakes without it like burying her.
no,
like,
it's
she
all
doesn't
in
get
the
to-
open.
Yeah.
It's all in the open.
Like it sucks for her for that reason alone.
Dude, there's almost no good answer she gives.
She's gonna
Because
upset someone.
somebody's going to be pissed.
Yep.
And her goal is to not piss off anybody because she's
And
just
I
a
get
good
it.
person.
Yeah, I get that.
She's just a good person.
I get that. No, I totally get that.
Or seems that way,
Yeah.
not just from her
From
play,
what we
but
can
her
take.
comments,
Yeah.
how she treats her teammates. But she's a feisty competitor. That's why we like her.
Yeah.
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 Because you can push her down and attack her and bump her and,
gonna get back up
do some
and
dirty shit. And
try it
she's
again.
come in and play. And And her revenge
Uh-huh.
is kind of like Trump. The
Winning.
revenge is winning.
Yeah.
The revenge is winning.
Yeah.
Y'all don't get that yet. The revenge is winning. It's not coming after the enemies. We're going to just make everything better. And that's what she does. She makes things better. She made there were other couple good players on her team. And by about the middle of the year, they started to get into a sync. And she made those players better.
Yeah.
The great ones always do.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Jordan made other people better.
Because you have to play better to keep up with the
You
best.
have to.
You have to. It's either you're either gonna get better or you're gonna get replaced with someone that can.
Yes.
So, I mean, nice and simple.
But the dude is just a fucking dick.
Yeah, this guy is definitely mad about something that happened in his past.
MEI. She deserved where she was at because she was a good player. But I have one suggestion for you, Caitlin. You're making, I think, I don't know what.
Sponsors are ridiculous.
She makes, I don't know, maybe 150 grand, 250 grand. She makes 24 million, 28 million from her Nike deal.
Yeah.
Go donate that to the rest of your homegirls out there.
Yeah.
That if you actually want to change the narrative, go donate all your money, Caitlin.
I hate when people
I'll
tell
take you
other
one
people
more.
what to do with their money. I just hate that for anything. You know, it would be no different. Somebody told me, maybe you shouldn't have $600 dinners, Troy, and you should feed the homeless. How do you know I don't feed the homeless? I have done that.
Yeah.
On multiple occasions. Yeah, on a regular basis. My big sister.
But even if you didn't
but it's
feed the
my-
homeless, it has nothing
But
to
still,
do.
it's my prerogative what I do.
100%.
It's my prerogative what I do.
100%.
You do you.
Yeah.
It's that simple. But this is just bullshit, telling other people what to do with their money.
I think this is an easy thing to kind of like.
How about this? I've seen other players now be included. I've seen other, I can't name names off the top of my head, but I know we could look it up. But I've seen other WNBA players in commercials now where I hadn't seen them before.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about her because it's getting attention now.
Exactly. It's always going to have to start with one person.
And it may be like, I think there's one where, I don't know if it's a Kia commercial but it's like a car commercial, I think, where a bunch of them are sitting in a car. Do you see what I mean? Caitlin Clark's not sitting in the car, but they're giving other people opportunities.
It was
there you go. And who's in there? The one, Asia Wilson is in there.
I can't even pronounce that last
name. Dude, Asia Wilson did not get that car commercial prior to Caitlin Clark, did she? Let's just say that. I mean, there were no car commercials with WNBA players in it before Caitlin Clark brought more attention to the WNBA.
Oh, yeah. Easily.
Thank her for that money. That's what he should be talking about.
Yeah.
The case he should be making.
He's definitely mad about something.
He's
doing nothing but attacking her. Like it's
that, and then because he's mad about the woke position, dude, I get that. Attack the woke position.
I get that.
But you need to she deserves some grace. Why? She's a 22-year-old kid. And if you're such a fucking dick to not be able to do that, well, fuck you. Like, just really.
Yeah.
I don't.
Honestly, though.
What is LeBron James' salary this year?
I think it's about $50 million.
Exactly. So think of the
This is
WNBA.
Tom.
They run the whole thing all year
Tom's
long.
good.
And they end up with a $40 million loss. Let's just call it what it is, a cost. For the cost of less than one LeBron James, they can run this massive diverse DEI program.
See that I have two really big monitors on here as well as my tower, which by its
Yep.
Called the WNBA.
Yeah.
And that's the point. They're trying to elevate women's sports. They're trying to do it, and they see it as a marketing cost, Adam. It's a marketing cost. Because net, hey guys, we're gonna lose 50 million bucks on this. You know what? Guess what?
Yeah.
You know, we'll keep trying. We'll keep doing it.
She just lost. Like, let me explain something to you. I was never going to watch a game, but if there was ever a chance that I was, it's all gone. Because you know what, Caitlin?
Really?
You didn't make it to the WNBA because of the color of your skin. You played because you worked your ass off. Hours in the gym, sweat, sacrifice, and everything. It's not some imaginary.
But now because
head
she
start
said
that
this
you got,
one
okay?
thing he doesn't like, he won't watch. He was maybe gonna watch, but now he won't because of that one thing.
Comment. And like,
you know how that's just lame.
It really is. And like the thing is too is like she probably. Do you think it's something that came out of her like her heart, or was it something that other like people around her were telling her like, hey, maybe you should want to like say something that includes something like this, and like maybe that's the worst part, right? Like she doesn't get to have her own because she has a PR team. Like there's no way she does not have a PR team.
Of course.
So you have a 22-year-old girl that has basically done nothing but focus on college basketball. And you have all these
those PR teams have been nothing but wrong.
Exactly. And they're so caught up in this woke culture. So then she gets involved just because of other people telling her to say a certain thing or whatever. Like that alone is.
Yes.
Like,
yes. That's why I'm saying, give her a break. Give her a break,
give
man.
Her a break. Yeah.
Give her a break.
She hasn't had time to live like her life.
It's okay
She's been behind media
to talk about the issue. It's okay to talk about, like, look, you didn't need to apologize. Yeah. It's okay to talk about that.
Don't
but
throw her into the dirt with a bunch of dumb shit.
Yeah, you're just going overboard for no reason.
Yeah.
There's no reason for that.
No, I agree with that.
Honest with each other. If this was a white privilege was a thing, every broke-ass white person in middle America would be dunking on all of us. I think somebody, Adam, she didn't change it. Somebody talked to her. Remember all the girls that were just all talking shit about her from the beginning? This was a tune change because that's how they roll. That's the most... That WNBA is woke as shit. The NBA is woke as shit. And they had to tell her, you better change your thing or we're not going to get behind you 100%. And she did. She bowed down, and that's exactly what happened. And I'll never... I would have bought a jersey. Done.
What? You know what I think? Actually, what jersey would you have bought?
Clark. I'm joking. I would never.
So that's how... You know how I know you're gay, Vinny?
Yeah.
That's how.
I think it's very clever, and it's an evil plot on Caitlin Clark's.
What?
I think she's trying to play nice and say some things, loosen up the defense, and break her own records next year.
Ooh,
yeah, that's right.
Stop. That's
Tom.
You're so funny.
Strategic.
Tom
that's coming from a winner. That guy won the World Series.
And it's not.
Here's what I'll say. I just got a couple thoughts here, and then we'll wrap up because we got certain things we got to do. So, you know, I actually do want to see WNBA succeed. You know, because there's nothing wrong with girls competing with girls. There's nothing wrong with that. I actually like it. I think it's great if that's when you have 4 kids, they all have different dreams. All you care about as a parent is, hey, what's your dream, kid? Let me help you get to it, right? And I'd love if Brooklyn or Senna, they're like, hey, Daddy, I want to be a basketball player. So, you know, Saturday, Sunday, I'm with Senna. She's shooting baskets, and we go back and forth. To record is she's made 6 shots in a row, and it's a cool little moment that we have together. I enjoy it. Does she like playing basketball? No. We just do it as a form of exercise that we have. So I don't mind this winning. I actually want to see WNBA do well. But what she just did is exactly why I haven't watched a minute of an NBA game this year. I'm done. I'm unattracted. When NBA did the BLM thing and all this stuff in their NBA field said BLM, and they were bitching about everything that's going on, and DeSantis is a bad guy, yet you did your NBA playoffs in Orlando, okay, where it's the only state that would allow you to do it, and then you want to bitch about bad policies of Florida? You came to Florida.
Yeah.
I was done with the NBA. LeBron James destroyed a great game, and a lot of people can say stuff about him. I still put him as the second greatest. I was hoping Caitlin would stay and say, look, I respect everybody. I've earned to be here. I've worked very hard. But to go to the victimhood mentality place, so disappointing, so unattractive, that I couldn't even sit there and have my kids look up to her as a hero. That's the part. I want to find a kid for my daughters to look up to. We don't agree with victimhood mentality. Because we're Middle Eastern. Can you imagine? It's like, oh, we don't have white privilege. Their daddy is as Middle Eastern as it gets. We don't believe in that stuff. My dad was a cashier at a 99-cent store in Inglewood. The man never complained about hard work. He's 82 years old, about to turn 83. Good luck hearing this guy complain about his health and the pain and all this stuff that he has. We don't have any kind of privilege about white people have it over us. I've never felt it that way before. I've never felt it that way with, well, this community is this, that community is this community is this. What an unattractive acceptance speech. What an unattractive acceptance speech by a 22-year-old that's being fed all this stuff.
Yeah,
such a big turnoff. I'm so disappointed.
That's being fed.
I was wanting to take my girls to a Indiana Fever game this year courtside to watch her play, I'm done.
Yep.
I'm so upset and disappointed with this.
You and me both.
Why can't you just?
It's just over the top reaction.
At first,
And at least he's like, I mean, he presents his points more reasonably than fucking Adam. You know, Adam is just an
100%.
idiot. Yeah, go ahead.
No, like the reason I stopped it is like I get what he's saying. I 100% get what he's saying. Although it feels like a little bit like when you first say it without explaining like the whole like you want someone for your daughter to look up to.
Yes.
Like it's not necessarily like that she like said what she said or whatever it is. It's the idea of like you have so many people that find you as like that mentor, not necessarily like a mentor, but someone you look up to or like to have that kind of like same lifestyle when you grow up. So by allowing, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's a little bit much? Yes.
You don't have to.
But I understand the standpoint from a parent saying, "Hey, I don't want."
I think it's a little strong to say, "I'll never go to a game."
Exactly.
Now.
Exactly.
I mean, to say, it makes me think twice about going to a game.
Yes, that's okay.
Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. Yeah. We'll see how things proceed. Like that would be more reasonable.
They're shutting the door completely.
Yeah, you're shutting the door completely.
Like why?
And again, it's because you're not taking into account that you have these amazing high expectations of how she should present herself to the media. She didn't practice that. Nope. She practiced dribbling between her legs and behind her motherfucking back and shooting deep fucking threes. That's what she practiced.
Yep.
Not presenting herself once and got all this fame and had this spotlight. She didn't practice that shit, dude.
I get it. I totally.
You see what I'm saying? Why this so kind of like bothered me, like because I do have some knowledge about this because I am a fan and I do have a daughter and and here's the whole privilege thing. And we don't exactly agree, and that's okay. But the privilege thing is more on economic status than it is race.
Yeah.
That's where it is. It's on economic status and has been for a long time. Now, it was much stronger on race years ago.
Yes.
Okay. But there was a shift from the late 60s into the 80s that made it more about financial status than race.
I think money trumps anything. If you got money, your privilege goes up.
So I have fast. So if you're black and living in Englewood and you go to a private school, I had more privilege than you at Genoa fucking high school. I didn't. But I didn't use that as an excuse that my parents were barely above the poverty line.
Yeah.
That's where we were. We were barely above but I had everything I needed. I had a good life, and I don't use that excuse. You cannot create equality of a starting point. You can't do it. And to try to make equality of outcomes to make up for that is not how it works.
Yeah.
There are plenty of rich kids that grow up to be fucking dirtbags. Okay.
Yes.
Hunter Biden. Okay.
Hey,
right?
He's pardoned.
He didn't get pardoned from being a dirtbag. He was. He's still sentenced to be a dirtbag. But yeah, like there are, you can be given more opportunity and a chance, and maybe you'll do something with it. Maybe you won't.
Yeah.
And then there's that kid that, despite all circumstances, despite the fact he only ate 2 meals a day, because that's, the only thing they could do, that fights to make something of himself anyways. I mean, I'm not saying that people's circumstances don't matter. I'm saying you have to overcome it and do it regardless.
Yeah.
And focusing on that is not the way to succeed.
Yeah, no, I agree.
If your focus is on a mentality that I believe like they do, of victimhood, You'll find a way to be a victim in everything you do.
Yep.
Everything you do. It's not it. You have to take what have I said? You have to take responsibility and own it, even when it's not your fault.
Wrong. Yeah.
You could blame this person's doing this to me and putting me down, but you have to take responsibility because the only way you can change it, you have to find a different road, a different way. Maybe it's not the easiest way. I got into the financial industry the hardest way possible, but I got in. See, the big door to get into the financial industry was to go to college.
Yep.
That was the big door.
Schooling and all that.
You just had to go to college and then pass a really hard test. But that was the big door.
Yeah.
Okay. And then companies would, pay for your testing, your stuff to go through big door. They would give you an opportunity. But if you didn't have that,
grab a shovel.
It was hard to find a company
door.
because then you would get stuck at a bank
Yeah.
who wants to give you what I told you, a shitty license to keep you trapped.
Yep.
Right. And at the time, there was one company that I found that if they thought you had the stuff, they'd give you a shot.
Okay.
Even if you didn't have a college degree. And you could go get your Series 7 right off the bat and be a stockbroker. And that's what I did.
You gotta find your way.
You got to find your way. I found a way.
Yeah.
It was a small way. Okay. It was a
an
harder
easy
way.
one. It was an easy one. Yeah. Hey, but you got through.
But
you got past those two doors.
I found a way.
Yeah. No, I get that. No, I totally get that.
Yeah, it's the financial thing, and then the best that we can do, and it's something that I think the more people listen, and the chance that I get to talk about it, the more they'll find that is so important to me is education, and giving parents a choice that the money that the government takes from your taxes, from your property taxes, or however they fucking take it from you to fund schools, that money needs to follow the kid. That's where that money needs to go. And you should be able to put that money towards any type of schooling, public or private, that you want. Okay? Because sometimes it's not going to be enough to go to a private school. And what you might have to do is cough up a little bit more, or use that combined with a scholarship from the school, and then, or like Catholic school where you donate time. Say, I didn't want to do any of that shit.
Catholic school is not.
Well, I did Catholic school for my daughter in high school, but like I didn't want to do like donate my time or no, at the auction, I'll buy shit.
Yeah.
And I don't need a grant. I don't need a scholarship. I'm paying the full boat. Okay, but don't bang me on the phone for the money, and don't ask me to sell hot cocoa.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you money to buy hot cocoa to sell to other people, but don't ask me to do it.
I just got so many more memories. That is so crazy. The fact when you said that is so crazy.
But they do that. There's a way
they do
that if you don't have the money, they'll
find a way for you to
they
pay.
can find you a way in a Catholic school. And look, it had nothing to do about the Catholic. I just think that they produce better students as a whole.
That's fair.
And there are some public schools that do very, very well. Mm-hmm. There was one in the Toledo area that did. But guess where all the kids came from? A very exclusive neighborhood. So you didn't. It was a public school.
Gotcha.
But the neighborhood that all the kids came from were all high-end houses.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
$750.
Yep.
$1 million. They were they were paying it in their property. They were paying for it, and those kids could compete with the top 2 or 3 schools education wise, even though it was public. But that's why, because it wasn't inner city, dude. Okay, it was wealth. It was a wealthy neighborhood.
Yeah.
in Toledo that was able to do that. So, for me, because man, dude, you got to understand that I've often thought about this, but I didn't dwell on it too much. So I started wrestling late. I started wrestling in 8th grade.
Yeah.
Did well. Wrestled my freshman year. I don't think I wrestled my sophomore year. Maybe I even tried out for basketball or something. I don't know. Something stupid. because of what I did my freshman year and losing weight and what they made me do.
Yeah.
That's probably the only time my parents really exerted themselves a little bit.
Okay.
Is remember how sick I looked from COVID?
Yeah.
That's how I looked wrestling. Okay.
Just cutting weight so much.
Cutting weight so much, and to a weight that I didn't need to be at. And again, I could beat the kid at the weight that would have been proper for me to wrestle at, which was even worse, pissing me off. And then I came back my junior year, and then my knee got fucked up my junior year, and then that was just it. Then it was about money. But I feel like if I would have had the privilege of some of the guys that I knew when I went to AAU tournaments who had been wrestling since they were 4.
Gotcha.
And their dads had wrestling mats in the fucking garage.
Yeah.
Their dads were wrestling coaches. And that's all they did was wrestle. If I had been given, dude, I could have been a state champion, no doubt. Like the kid that one of the kids I beat, like placed 8th in my weight category that year, which was a good showing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 8th place, so I don't know where I'd place, but I know I could place. I'm not saying I could.
You can compete.
But
But
I definitely could have if I'd have had these other. I didn't. But I didn't have them, man. I didn't start soon enough. I didn't, have all that. It's hard. It's hard to compete against those kids that have
they've been doing it their entire lives.
Doing that. It is, man.
And all their parents do is focus on them and that sport or whatever they're meaning to do. Yeah, you're always gonna be struggling behind that person.
But I've never dwelled on it. Yeah. Being like, what good would that
fantasize that like, oh, you
do?
had all that. Yeah, that's not gonna change your life.
It's not gonna change anything, man. And it's no difference than, business and in life. And, if I'd have had, if I'd have made better choices, a lot of the shit I did, I inflicted upon myself, man.
I feel you, man.
Yeah. If I don't show up to some dude's house that owes me $15,000, I'm still a financial advisor, and I have a value of between 10 and 20 million on my business at this point.
Yeah.
Instead of having to build a whole new one from scratch.
Hey, but guess what?
Yeah, look, this is it. This is where it is. Shows you.
It's looking good.
But I just look at it like there's no choice but to do it again, to keep going, to persevere. There
ain't no time machine around here.
No. And my whole goal is just to show other people that they can do it. It doesn't stop blaming your fucking circumstances.
Yeah.
And your race doesn't matter. Okay. There's always going to be racist, and there's always going to be somebody that has more money than you.
Yep.
Okay, everybody doesn't get to leave the starting point
at the same time
at the same place.
Yeah.
It just does not work that way.
Unfortunately, that's not how this world was built.
No. But if you want to compete, if you want it bad enough, there is the opportunity for you to do it. It's going to be harder. So what? Suck it up. Life's hard. That's what I mean when I say so often that I don't give a fuck about your feelings.
Excuses or anything like that.
I don't give a shit about your excuses. I don't give a shit about it because it just doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day,
At the end of the matter, it's not going to help you.
Yeah.
Focus on what will help you. And give a fucking 22-year-old kid a fucking break.
Honestly, though.
For God's sake.
Honestly, though.
Seriously.
Like, imagine you were 22, you barely getting out of school, and you got a bunch of cameras all up in your face going like, oh, you have privilege. Like,
imagine 22 years old, and, it's not as big a thing as it used to be, maybe. Yeah. Time Magazine was a big deal to be named, Person of the Year or Athlete of the Year or whatever, because it was a more important magazine at one time.
Yeah, people were reading magazines on a daily.
It's not like that anymore. But it's still...
It's still a big. We have the social media part now instead of the actual magazines.
Yeah, and but it's still a big deal. And again, she's just 22 years old. That's it. She's a kid who's a really good basketball player. And there's no reason to tear down anyone, not her competition or her. They're just not. It's just dumb.
It really is stupid.
Because it's an opportunity for them for everybody to do better.
Yeah.
For everybody to do better.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what I'm for. I'm for everybody doing better. Give two fucks about what your color or your skin is. I want everybody to win. That's what we want.
I agree with that.
Good. I'm glad you do. All right. That's, man, we did the whole show on that, didn't we? But it's okay.
This one felt very, like, on purpose. Like, we sat down and actually, like, decided to be like, oh, you know what? We'll do this entire episode about this episode.
Yeah, I think that was good. That's good
this.
on this.
Yeah.
And,
it's going to be a lot easier
to
edit.
Can we send a link to Patrick?
Hell yeah, we can.
Can we send a link to him?
Hell yeah, we can.
Because
he might even copyright this video.
Well, I just want to. Replace Adam.
I can see it.
Yeah,
I can see it.
Yeah, but you know what the problem is with me? I want to be in his seat, not Adam's.
Gotcha.
But
that would be hilarious. I would love to see that.
Yeah, I could do it.
I know. That's without a doubt. We know you can do it.
Yeah, that'd be neat. All right, that's it. We'll be back again next week. Do us a favor, though, and please, please, please get someone if you're watching this, especially if you watch to the end, you really like this show. So you're like 3 people. So if you could just each get one more person, that'd be 3 more people to subscribe. That would be awesome. But actually, we've had about over 50 people add subscriptions this week. Something like that, just because I posted on Facebook and I have some awesome fucking Facebook friends and people that want to support this. And some people have even listened and then commented like, oh, geez, you're funny. So yeah, it is a cool thing. We much appreciate it. And God bless you for taking a minute to do that, because we need to get to 500 and I'll let you know when we do, but please help us do that. This is the Outlaw Apostle Podcast. I'm Troy Neff, your host. I'm the fucking guy.
Who knew I would make it this far? They hated, they never believed me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball. I know I make it look easy. Yeah, Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic got to say. I got them picking up the pieces. That to me, you really playing with your life.